there's a little bit of a hiccup in the energy, a little bit of stumbling and clumsiness, and you might be experiencing this with people around you or you yourself. But it's okay. This is just part of the energetics of this time. Feel free to stutter along. Feel free to stumble along. You never know what you'll find when you accidentally hit the ground, is what I'm hearing. There's something here for you to pick up. And I believe this is true in this reading too. There is definitely some information here for you. And I don't always say that. Sometimes I say if it doesn't resonate, maybe it's not your reading, but I feel guided today to tell you that all 3 messages that I received in my meditation have information for you. Okay, so the first message, I'm going to do 3 separate readings on each of these. The first message is your tolerance for sleepwalkers is low. The second message is you're standing at a door that most people ignore. And this is about a hidden and a veiled timeline. And when I was shuffling the deck that I plan to use, these 2 cards came out after I channeled these messages, which is Akashic Stargate, aligned with your purpose, crossroads, no wrong path, and Cirrus, star blessings, yes, proceed, be seen, push through. And I'm seeing all these doors. So there's a door here that most people ignore, and we're going to find out what that is for you. And then the third message I got is that something is coming to you in 3s. These could be signs, synchronicities, or certain events, maybe even people. Oh, weird. What is this? Weird. Okay, sorry. I just got, as you saw, interrupted. I don't even know what that's for. But there was some notification, and everything's on Do Not Disturb, that came through that said, please review the terms and conditions before proceeding. But it's still recording. I don't know if it's for I don't know, but it's a message because we were just talking about signs and synchronicities. So there's terms and conditions that you must review. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget it. That was definitely part of this message. And it's going to interrupt something for you. Now, these can be metaphorical terms and conditions, or there's maybe something that comes across your path where you have to really think about what you're agreeing to. Because what I got from whatever comes in 3s is that all of these things are prompting your subconscious mind. It's bringing up things that have been buried deep to reveal inner truths to yourself, higher levels of wisdom. Okay? And then I also got here that you're out of the cruelty chamber. I have no idea what that means, but it's quite a vivid image that I'm seeing. Out and strong words. Okay, so strong words could be something that you're particularly focused on. There could be certain words that you're hearing for the first time or that are standing out to you. Follow them, trace them, look at the etymology, or maybe meditate on them, work with them, write them down. These words are significant. They'll lead you places. They'll help you connect the dots with something. Okay, this comes in 3 messages really strong here because I'm talking a lot about it. But let's get through. Let's get through the door. Okay, let's get through the doorway and see what we get here for you on these 3 messages. I just saw 334. That could be a number for someone. Significant number. Thank you, everybody who's extended happy birthday wishes to me. It is my birthday today, May 13th. So I'm happy to be here and spending this energy with you. So thank you for coming on in. So let's see. I found my first, I guess it was my first real gray hair, like a big long one. And I thought, I have my first wisdom antenna on my birthday. You know, hair is a spiritual antenna. At least that's what I think. So it was fun to kind of see the first wisdom antenna pop up on my birthday. Okay, so let's focus in. Enough about me. Let's focus in here, Spirit. Let's get 3 cards out for each message. Or should I do one at a time? One at a time, okay. Your tolerance for sleepwalkers is low. Let's see what this is all about. And what I was picking up with this term sleepwalkers is not necessarily people who are unawakened. You know, maybe they're still doing their ego jam. Maybe they're still thriving in the matrix, navigating their way through, or suffering in the matrix. It's not those people that you have a low tolerance for. I feel like maybe you extend some compassion, or you just have some understanding, like this is their path, this is what they're doing, that's working for their soul and their spirit now. Not my business, hands off, kudos to you, keep going, see what happens, see what unhappens and what unfolds in your life. There's only so much we can do and say to people to prick their senses back into consciousness. Okay, so some people are just kind of zombieing out in a sense, but that's their path. The people, the sleepwalkers, or maybe it's more sleepwalking energy, it doesn't necessarily have to be people, that you have a low tolerance for, are those that... So I just got cut off right there as soon as I was about to describe this sleepwalker energy, which is telling me quite a lot about how much energy to give to the sleepwalkers, and also about the tolerance. So your tolerance, your energetic tolerance, is low, meaning that you might get physical reactions to this sleepwalker energy, or maybe things around you start happening with electronics. It's like the energy force, your force field, just can't deal with it anymore. It's not going to stay up and running to entertain these sleepwalker energies. And it feels like, I'll just say briefly, that these, and then we'll get the cards out, that these sleepwalker energies are those who are not working on themselves, but are trying to work on you. Okay, so let's get a card to explain this energy. And I also feel like that interruption that just happened, where the camera shut down, is about those terms and conditions again. Spirit is saying you don't want to get into a contract with a sleepwalker energy. Okay, so when you engage with this sleepwalking energy, you are also willingly going to sleep yourself. Okay, so I feel right now the guidance is, don't allow somebody who is not working on themselves to try to work you and work on you, to try to shape and mold you, or convince you that you don't really know your own path. Because if that, and you'll know if someone's working on themselves or not, because if they were, they wouldn't have time to work on you. Okay? So if somebody has time to really get in there and tell you what's good for you and what's not good for you, who you should be, who you shouldn't be, you can bet that they haven't done a lot of thinking about their own path, or not even just thinking, but meditating, growth, reflection on who they are themselves. All right? So don't fall for that trick. But let's see this sleepwalker spirit. It's a very slippery energy here. I can feel it. This person could be tongue-tied, closed. Yes, exactly. This is about a boundary. Your threshold is closed. Interesting. They can't cross a threshold with you. Your tolerance for this energy is low. Okay, we're going to get more information about this. Let's see. Let's see, Spirit. Something might happen in the next 2 weeks around this energy that really drives it home for you, that really puts a nail in the coffin for some energy here. Can you tell me the collective's energy in relation to this message? The collective's energy. We have the Moon, 3 of Cups, which is other people. It says overflowing, and the Tower. Whoa. Yes, this threshold is low. And perhaps in the past you were the kind of person to say, yeah, like, thanks for your 2 cents, but nah, I'm not going to take it. Good luck on your journey. But now it feels like there's a different kind of physical reaction you might even be having to this energy. It's like a purging. Like, I'm going to really purge this out. I'm not going to just ignore it and let these sleepwalkers just kind of roam around. And I'm seeing like you in your house, and they're just kind of like zombies almost. They're just like roaming around outside. And before you'd be okay with that because whatever. But now you're like, you know what, buddy, get off my property. Go sleepwalk somewhere else. Interesting. So your energy is the Moon, the 3 of Cups, and the Tower. For some of you, this sounds harsh, but I'm just going to say it because it's what I'm getting. You're becoming a little bit of a nightmare for these people. meaning that you are triggering their shadow. You're getting them to face things about themselves that nobody else has. Or maybe it's just one person. You know, the moon energy for a sleepwalker, of course, the moon energy is tempting. They want to be in the moon energy because they're sleepwalking. And Three of Cups is like, sure, come on in. It's overflowing with darkness here. It's overflowing with mystery. It's overflowing with enchantment and things unseen. And then bam, it's like you hit them with the tower. Now, I don't think you're doing this intentionally. Perhaps it's like they're pulled in because they have a certain projection or idea of who you are, or what you could give them, what you could offer them, what you could do for them. And so they get pulled in that way, and then you hit them with the truth, a truth bomb. It's like, no, that's not actually what's going on here. And it creates this kind of nightmarish situation and scenario. But the nightmare itself is part of their path. It's there to wake them up. You know, the gentle dream that they've been walking through is not powerful enough to shake them from their own illusions. So you become the nightmare that ultimately wakes them up. For some of you, this is someone close to you. For others of you, this is not somebody close to you. This is just people who have reactions to you. Okay, but Spirit wants you to know you've closed the door on it, meaning that they can't get in. But I feel like you might even be getting on top of your house on the roof and like doing something about getting them off the property in general. Okay, so let's see. Who are these sleepwalkers, Spirit? What is their energy? Daughter of Wands. Yes, Page of Wands. It's a page-like energy for sure. They have a flute here. So as many of you know, the Page of Wands is my messenger card. It's someone who comes through with a message or has some news to deliver. So again, these are people who have messages for you or things to say to you. There's a little bit of smugness there. There could be something about their eyes that you find quite dark. There's nothing to fear here because your door is closed. Okay. Tell me a little bit more about this energy. Page of Wands. Mother of Cups in the north. Well, give me one more. And Death. It's kind of obvious here, the message. It's like they're coming to you as you're the Mother of Cups. Doesn't matter what your gender is. Somebody who's soft, kind. You're also fierce in your own ways. We'll get to that. I mean, you're bringing the tower here. But there's somebody who's misjudged you, misperceived you. They're sleepwalking. Okay, they're more focused on your path than they are on their own. And so they come to you for some kind of nurturing. For some of you, they have quite a traumatic history, or they have things that they haven't dealt with, right? Like traumas, difficult things, even their own guilt and shame around things they've done that they haven't dealt with. And you represent some kind of healing archetype for this person, whether you asked to be that archetype or not. They're drawn to you because of this kind of motherly, nourishing, in-tuned, tapped in kind of energy. Even if you're a man, it doesn't matter. There's something maternal about you. Okay? And then Death. But you see, their soul is seeking transformation. But you're not meant to get deeply involved with it. You may act as a catalyst, but not by your own hand. So let me ask for a second before I talk more about this death energy. Why are we having this message for the collective? The universe, closed. Because you're supposed to remain closed to this energy. To not allow it in. Okay, this death card here is, there's massive transformation that the sleepwalker energy is seeking to undergo. Okay, the nightmare. Who doesn't want to wake up from a nightmare? Of course they want to wake up from a nightmare. But you're the nightmare. You're not the hand that wakes them up and says, it's okay, I'm here. Okay, there's a big difference. So this is why Spirit is saying stay close, because you can't be the nightmare and the one that comforts them. I'm hearing something like that's gonna, they're gonna lash out at you for this. Okay. And again, whether you decided to be the nightmare or you didn't, and you just happened to be their enemy or whatever, their fixation or whatever it is, you didn't do anything to cause this other than just activate something within them. Okay. You have a strong message. You're saying things like it is in this relationship, in this workplace, in whatever context this is happening. And it's bringing out some reactive energy in this sleepwalker, okay? And I feel like the reason this is coming through is for, once again, for Spirit to say keep the door closed, but also because you might have physical symptoms when this energy is around. So that's even more reason for you to remain guarded and have your boundaries up. Because your tolerance, it's like, an alcohol tolerance. When it's low, you get sick off of like just a sip, right? Or something like that. The same thing applies here. If you just take a little bit of the energy, you could have a reaction. Okay, your system, your body, your energy, your soul is rejecting this right now. Okay, so any other guidance here on this message? Ace of Stones in the West, Ace of Pentacles with this eagle, beautiful, and this rainbow, which we're going to get to right now. Spirit's already pushing me to the next message about the door, you see, flying through this door. Because you have something else going on for yourself. You have some opportunity here. The door, you're standing at a door that most ignore. Next message, Ace of Pentacles. And so that Spirit is saying this sleepwalker energy, if you open the door here, then you're not walking, you're standing at that doorway rather than another doorway you're meant to walk through. You see what I'm saying? You're welcoming them in rather than going somewhere else. Okay, so it's time for you to go through this door and to keep your boundaries up. You're good. You've learned a lot of lessons. You've come a long way. You're not the same person who used to entertain and deal with these situations. Okay? So let's get to it. Let's get to this door. Let me just give these cards a good shuffle before we get there. I'm hearing so we don't repeat some energy. Things need a good shuffle so you don't repeat something. Okay, we'll just do 3 more. How's everybody doing with this Pluto retrograde? It's been a doozy for me. It's happening in my 4th house, which is kind of intense. So where's it happening for you, this Pluto retrograde? This Pluto retrograde, well, especially for me because it's in the 4th house of the subconscious and all of that kind of stuff. But I think for most of the collective, from what I've heard anyways and what I've learned, it's activating more intense reflection on personal transformation, where things are stalling out and where things are working for you or where you want to go next. So it could be a time of shadow work, or you could be feeling a lot of heavy energy, heavy emotions, some doubts, some fears, these kinds of things. But that's what Pluto retrograde is meant to do right now for you. So what house is it happening in? Because that's an area of life that you should look a little bit further into. And I feel like this door that most ignore is being activated through this Pluto retrograde. Okay, so let's get to it. The door that most ignore. You're standing at it, a hidden, a veiled timeline. Look at this beautiful card again. And I just did a reading for Aries, and the message for Aries was that there's 7 doors. And now we have another message about doors. And there's 5 here. Okay. Aligned with purpose, crossroads, no wrong path. No wrong path. Say it to yourself, no wrong path. Okay, let's see. What is this? You're standing at a door. What's What is this? What's the energy around this? Sacred. Oh, with this little Taurus cow for Taurus season. And maybe this does have to do with the Taurus new moon right now too. There's a big like unearthing of energy and then also digging deeper. It's like you excavate something, you dig a hole, you unearth something, some knowledge, something's revealed to you about yourself and about your path. And then it's like you feel you need to dig even deeper is what I'm getting. Maybe to plant a seed way, way, way down so that it's sacred, and nobody else can dig it up. Interesting. So you're doing some healing work. For some of you, it's around the feminine energy with this sacred cow. I'm also seeing the number 165. I feel like some of you are going to be selected for something. What's that? Some of you are being selected from your higher self, from spirit, or maybe in a job or a work situation to speak out about something that you see happening or ideas that are being propagated that you don't agree with, and you're going to eloquently articulate your position on what perturbs you about this. Okay, so maybe you're giving a lecture, a talk, or you're writing something. It could even be a blog post. I'm not sure. Don't be confused, though. This isn't the sleepwalker energy of working on someone or on a group of people because you don't agree with something. This is presenting an alternative viewpoint that some have not considered, but it is going to confront them. Okay, but again, that's fine. That confrontation might be what's needed. That's for some of you. Okay, sacred. This door, this Akashic Stargate door is sacred. Yes, proceed, be seen. Push through. Oh yeah, that could be the message there about you challenging something. 1616 I just saw. Okay, so let's see. 416, that something might happen at 416. So let's see. What is this sacred doorway? Or no, let's ask. Let's go in the order we chose. What is the collective's energy around this sacred doorway? Sacred door. The Lovers. They need some bathing suits. Well, actually, they don't, but you know how it goes here. That looks like a Y and a T. You know how it goes here on YT. The Lovers. Wow. So this is the terms and conditions, the sacred contract. The door. When you walk through this door, you're making a sacred contract. This is a monumental decision. I want to ask, before I ask what the door... No, actually, let's ask what the door is, and then I want to ask why most people don't see it. What is this door? What is this door? What is this door? Harmony, Two of Stones. It's about balancing. It's about honoring polarity and duality. It's about understanding the necessary cause for polarities, light and dark. I'm hearing love and fear. And it is like a doorway here. So why don't most people see this door of balance, harmony? Why don't most people see? Well, because they gravitate to one polarity over the other, rather than trying to work with both. It's not necessarily that you need to be in the middle of polarities. It's that you need to balance them, to work with both sides of the duality. Oh, there's someone at my door right now. There's someone at my door and we're talking about a doorway. 1 second. This is so synchronistic. Okay, another interruption as you saw. But I opened the door, and I typically don't when I'm doing a reading. You know, I just ignore it. But we were talking about how you're not going to just ignore things. You're going to close the door, but not just ignore it, but you're going to actually remove the sleepwalkers off of your property. You're going to really get them away. Well, I opened the door and there's this guy there and he has the biggest energy. Like, I haven't seen someone so charismatic, so full of life in like a long time. It was kind of interesting. And he has a business where he removes junk. And so he said to me, if you have any junk you'd like me to get off your property, I'm happy to do so. Guys, this is so synchronistic. So I feel like the message here for you is Spirit saying that they're sending you help in some form, whether it's through a person or a message or energy coming your way to help you get this sleepwalker, this dead energy, this energy that is no longer playing a role in on your path, in your growth, out of your field. Hey, you want me to get rid of some big junk you got? Right? In the middle of this message for you about removing the sleepwalker energy. So Spirit is confirming that for you. Now, back to this doorway that you're walking through, this doorway of harmony. The other two cards that fell out right before I answered the door is Two of Swords and the Ace of Swords. This is a careful decision you're making to walk through this doorway. Okay? Most people don't walk through it because they're stuck on one of these sides. Left, right, light, dark, I don't know. They get stuck on a polarity, on a pole. But you are able to work with both. And so you're making some kind of careful decision about how you communicate, what you say, what words you choose again, what's important to you, and weighing the terms and conditions. So can I get a little bit more specific about this door here, Spirit? Ten of Swords and the Daughter of Swords. Lots of sword energy, a lot of mental energy coming through here. Ruin. This is you looking forward. Ruin, Ten of Swords, betrayal, difficult ending, concepts that were keeping you trapped, memories that were keeping you trapped, worries and anxieties, keeping you pinned down to a certain energy. You're looking past that now. You've turned your back to that. You've made peace with something. Most people ignore this door because they're really stuck on something where their ego was betrayed. Now Wolfgang wants to interrupt. But you are looking past this. Okay, where are you looking to? Proceed. Nine of Cups, fortune. Your wish fulfillment. This is your life. This is your experience. This is your spirit. This is your soul. What will you do with it? How will you feel it? What will you create in this lifetime? You have all the opportunity in the world. This is what Spirit is saying, and this is what you're looking at. You're having an epiphany about something that you want, that you really want, that you haven't really gone for yet, or maybe you've been thinking about it, you've been toiling with it, but because of these sleepwalkers, you've been kind of preoccupied with that. But not anymore. Somebody comes to help you remove those sleepwalkers, and you're able to look now through this door, go through this door to some wish you have, some wish fulfillment after something very difficult, mentally difficult. Beautiful. Okay, so let's see guidance from Spirit. Guidance on this. The sacred door. Veiled timeline. And it is a veiled timeline. And I feel like this is the veil, the Ten of Swords. Right? This is why people can't see the timeline of manifestation, of moving in down their path with ease, with relaxation, with calming their nervous system, with allowing emotions of fear and disbelief and melancholy to come up, but not allow that to drown them. That's the door. It's like everything is welcome because I control it all. This is all a part of me. This is all part of my experience, and I can make whatever I want to make out of all of this. And most people don't go through this door because they have a veil of the Ten of Swords in front of them. Just pain and misery and expecting the worst. Getting stuck here in the ego. Getting stuck in the mind. Getting stuck in the mind. Okay, thoughts I'm hearing are pernicious. Okay? There's certain concepts that you've outgrown. Some of you are making your own spiritual concepts, or you're tweaking them, you're redefining them. That actually, ascension doesn't really mean this. Ascension actually means this. You get to decide. Okay, that's what some of you are doing. It's a beautiful doorway, and it comes after pain. It comes with calmness, truth, clarity, accepting help from spirit, and dreaming bigger. Not in terms of more, but in terms of not swallowing yourself up in the duty towards others. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Let's go. I think we got enough on that sacred door, I hope. Let's go to what comes in threes. What comes in threes, Spirit? It's 2:33 right now. What comes in threes? What comes in threes? Preserve. Interesting. And this is something that prompts your subconscious mind, something you've preserved in your subconscious mind. Something's coming in threes. Okay, I need more on this. Graveyard tree. And abandoned. Comes in threes. Something that you have abandoned on your path for one reason or another. Spirit wants you to pick back up again. You haven't fully laid it to rest. Graveyard tree. It's still growing. It's still growing, but you've convinced yourself that maybe you should leave it behind. But Spirit's preserved it for you. There's something that's been preserved for you. It's still actually growing, but you have decided all is gone, all is lost, it's for nothing. I'm going to abandon this. I'm going to leave this behind. So something comes in threes, 3 events, 3 people, 3 signs, synchronicities. Something strange comes in threes. I've already had 2 things now happen today that were kind of synchronistic. To remind you of something that you abandoned that's preserved, that Spirit wants you to return to excavate, to unearth. Okay, out of the cruelty chamber. This is something that maybe it's a seed that you planted, but it never got the chance to grow because there was a lot of cruelty happening in your life at that time, to you, through you. And now Spirit's saying, dig that out of the cruelty chamber and take it and, that's that excavating something, that seed, and taking it and planting it deeper somewhere else. It's been preserved. Don't abandon that seed. Okay, so let's see. What's your energy here in relation to this? What's your energy? It's kind of a strange, different reading, huh? Daughter of Cups. Yes, it's been preserved. It's still there. Page of Cups, this seed. This is a card of like the seed, the beginning, the nascent energy, the innocence, the purity, the beginning of something. This could go back to childhood even. It's giving me kind of time capsule energy. It doesn't have to be that literally, but it feels like something's been held in a time capsule. Let me get one of these cards out for this. Can we get more on this? Ooh, we got a lot here. I'm just going to take the first one that I saw, which is Soul Star Activation, fulfilling soul contracts, remembering who you are. Yes. You know what? I want to read this to you. This is a seed that you planted. Spirit's telling you to excavate it, dig it up, remember who you are, and plant it deeper now. You've escaped some kind of cruelty chamber, and that seed is there for you to grow now. Okay, do these have numbers? No, they don't. Okay, give me 1 second. Hopefully they're in alphabetical order. Yes. The soul star chakra is the energy center that is found around 6 to 12 inches above the crown and connects us directly with soul wisdom. It is our gateway to the etheric realms, which hold all the lessons of all the incarnations that we have experienced. Through our soul star, we access information and wisdom like a computer connecting to the internet through broadband. Instead of having to move through the dimensions to access the information, we can remain connected at all times and download support as necessary. The Egyptian god Horus appears on this card as our spiritual guide. His hawk-headed image, I've been seeing hawks everywhere, is said to illustrate his connection to the sun, moon, and stars. As a keeper of energetic portals to hidden realms, he can help us remember our starry origins, open psychic vision, and connect directly with the wisdom that is held in the stars. And I'm going to keep reading this for a second. Through your previous journeys, you have learned much about the inner workings of your soul, about the cycles of karma. Before this incarnation, you set a powerful intention to remember your divine origins. At this point, you are in a powerful space, for you are remembering who you truly are. And you know that you have it within you to make a great difference in your own life, the lives of others, those you love, and of course the world. This remembering is in alignment with the soul contracts you made before coming to this realm. Terms and conditions, the Lover's card. If you find yourself worrying if you're making the right decisions, know that even if you aren't conscious of it, all that you have chosen so far is in accordance with your soul's evolutionary plan. And when you draw this gateway, you are opening up on higher levels. Amazing. Amazing. So this soul contract that you made, it's been preserved. You buried it. You hope it would grow. But some kind of cruelty happened. Okay, you got sidetracked. Or it's not even a sidetrack. You had to deal with that lesson, with that part of your path. But Spirit's saying, don't abandon it. Go back. And you'll know where it is because this huge tree is growing there. Dig it up and then plant it deeper. Okay, so let's see. Can we get more on what this contract, soul contract, this seed is for the collective? Ooh, we have the Seven of Swords and it came out in reverse. And it says on it, uselessness. Getting rid of the rubbish, the garbage, the junk, the sleepwalkers. Getting rid of that is the first step here. Getting rid of the cruelty chamber. Uselessness. The energy of things that don't matter. Pushing that away. And there's a lot of energy that doesn't matter. Things, thoughts, concepts, behaviors, like there's all sorts of things in this world that really are useless for our connection to ourself. They're distractions. Tell me more about this seed. Something that maybe you couldn't use in the past. It was useless at the time because of the cruelty chamber. So what is, can you tell me, Spirit, what is the seed? There's too many here. I want to be clear. I want to be clear. What is the seed, Spirit, that they're excavating? The star. The star and the 10 of Pentacles. You see, you focus in, you ask Spirit for clarity. The star and the 10 of Pentacles. Your soul's growth, your evolution. Your life lessons, your destiny. What are you thinking about doing lately? What's on your mind? Where do you want to go? Who do you want to become? What adventure awaits you? Dig it up, bury it deeper, grow it again. That's what Spirit's saying here. Okay, I think that's the message. So it comes in threes. Maybe this is something you tried to do 3 times now, or this is the 3rd time. 3rd time's a charm. Okay, could be. I feel guided to use some charms. Let's pull a couple charms and then we'll end the reading here. But if you have some strange occurrences, these are little nudges from Spirit to start that process of returning to the seed. The letter H, the letter C, the letter Q, the letter O, a howling wolf, an umbrella, a bunny, a peacock, a sand dollar, a peach. I'll get a couple more. These could just be little synchronicities for you. We have the letter F, E, P, H, J, a butterfly, Ace of Cups, a letter, a message, and a skull and crossbones. Okay, that's beautiful. Let's send off the collective here with one last message. Anything else that needs to be said? The 6 of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Don't worry. The wheel is turning, as it always does. There's change coming. It's going to clear your mind. You're moving away from a difficult mental state. Okay, try to ground yourself. Think about what it is that you need to dig up and replant and nourish and take care of. Walk through that door that most people don't see. Even if it feels like things are a slog right now and slowing down, this is the time to realize that there is a door there. Sometimes things slow down so we can see the door. Okay, so, and get those sleepwalkers off your property. Spirit's sending you help. All right, I love you so much. I'll see you next time.